While the world scrolls, we build. While others talk, we turn wrenches, wire walls, and shape futures.
Trade isn't just what we do, it's who we are.
Welcome to Beyond the Trade, where we go deeper than the toolbox, beyond the classroom, into the real stories, skills, and sparks that make the trades thrive.
Brought to you by NESC Technical Institute, where skill meets purpose.
Hi Kevin, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm fine. It's good to be here. Quite relaxed.
Okay, good to know. You could help me be relaxed.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was a past student of NESC, former student. And actually got the opportunity to actually be a current employee as well, employed as an ICT System Technician. I'm a person who is very passionate in what I do. Things that I learn, always looking to uplift others. I just like to see the betterment of others, more or less, to help unlock the potentials, things like that.
And you mentioned you are a systems technician.
Yeah, ICT System Technician.
For the people that are not too sure what is it, could you give us an explanation?
Well, ICT System Technician is someone who manages, they more or less maintain the infrastructure of a network, We are the one who are more frontline to provide technical support to end users. People like you who utilize our computer system, things like that. We are the one that you call if you have a problem with the system. Kevin, I can't print. Kevin, I can't access the internet. I use our software, but it's not allowing me to do what I want. We are the person who provide that assistance.
Okay, and I know that I call IT quite a lot on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
You would have done your IT diploma at NESC. How does it feel being a former student of NESC and then transitioning into being an employee?
It feels like an amazing experience, it brings back a sense of nostalgic, feeling in a sense that you was once a student who was learning, and now you actually have the opportunity for people to learn from you, to actually work amongst the employees that was once part of time responsible for part of your career. It's an amazing experience, to say. Yeah.
And the diploma would have equipped you to handle the role that you are in now?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. NESC was one place I could safely say that, it gave me more than just the foundational skills, They always say, come to NESC, jumpstart a career, You can leave more or less being something that you never thought that you would have been. So it more or less provided me with more than the foundational skills to, get where I go in. A lot of places that had the opportunity to work, I see how beneficial it was. Many of the things, 90% of the things I was tasked with, I realized that the skill sets that I acquired, actually came from NESC, where I studied.
And so you would recommend everyone to come
NESC definitely,
to study
yeah.
IT?
If you have a skill up, you have a potential, something that you think that you have a deep passion for, go right away with it.
Were you always interested in the field of IT?
At first, honestly speaking, no, right? But it's something that I always saw that I would gravitate to. Technology is something that you always find me behind a computer, looking to dig up in something, opening a system, trying to discover parts, what it does. It's something I always tend to gravitate to. And, throughout my career, journey in life, I say, well, why not take a shot at something that I could be good at, and well, it turned out to be good. Yeah.
And you would have gone on to doing IT right after school, basically?
Yeah, so straight from when I completed secondary school, straight into the field of IT,
So we know IT have a lot of different branches and specializations. Did you always know you wanted to specialize in systems technician, or were there any other areas you were interested in?
Yeah, a system technician is something that I always wanted to gain hands-on experience on, seeing that it was something that it's so something that is so common out there, and actually seeing people, doing it. It's at a point in time that I think that I want to take a shot at, and with that being said, also I have an interest as well in different career paths, because IT is like a broad field. It's just for software development, cybersecurity professional, so I tend to channel my focus in those things sometimes.
One misconception people have about IT is that it's only about fixing computers or changing this part. What do you wish more people understood about IT?
Well, besides just fixing computers, there's a lot of thought behind it in terms of like being proactive. That's something that, it's very crucial in the field of IT. Being patient as well, because at times things might go your way. You might be tasked with an objective that could take 5 minutes, and when you actually get there to do it, it might take a half an hour, it might take an hour. So it's something more or less that people should be aware of. It's a field that it's pretty dominant, out there. So yeah.
And how long have you been in this role?
Couple of years now. Let's say around probably going into like 10 years, because something I was
That's a
doing
long time.
from since I was small, But certification wise, I would say like for the past 8, yeah.
And what is one of your proudest moments so far?
I would say being like challenged with an objective, like something, it could be work by something with that relates to your field, and being able to actually get through with it. Like you're tasked with something like a computer issue, and you develop a solution for it on point. It just shows that what you have learned, it actually made you become competent in what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we understand that, IT isn't always just about the technical parts. What are some soft skills you think are essential for being successful in the IT field?
Problem solving. I was in number one.
Solving.
Problem solving. IT is
Right off
something
the bat.
you need a problem solve. I mean, any job is like that, but you see IT, most of the times people call it for a technical issue, like, hey, I can't do this, and you must be able to problem solve, on the spot sometimes, you must have the ability. The next soft skill I would say is being collaborative, working as part of a team.
Being collaborative.
Yeah, working as part of a team, teamwork. That is very important as well. I would say being creative. There are things out there you would be tasked with. A company might have something that currently exists, something that they have a need for, and you, a matter of fact, have to be creative in a sense to implement something that they want as a need. And lastly, I would say our next one is the leadership, proper leadership. I always believe that leadership is something that is very crucial, in anything that you do. But IT-wise, leadership more or less helps your team come together and meet the requirements of a particular objective, So I would say that those are like, some of the soft skills that are essential in this role.
And what you're saying there, a lot of people stereotype IT as being more like a loner, or you're introverted. So you actually need to be a little extroverted to be in this field.
I wouldn't say. It's a field that more or less the people behind it, like who partakes in IT, may lack social skills, but they are more self-focused. They always have something up under their sleeves in terms of upkeeping with current trends, like AI is existing currently, cybersecurity out there. They more or less might be less interested in the outside world, like probably adventure and things like that. But they do, communicate. They might maybe want to initiate that conversation first, but they are the ones that they could hold a proper conversation with, and feel comfortable around.
You mentioned AI. Now, ChatGPT is my best friend.
Right.
Do you think that AI has influenced your job so far?
Yeah, it did, but not mine alone, though. AI, a lot of people use AI technology. But for me personally, it did. I tend to incorporate AI into my, daily needs. Things like emails, things like troubleshooting. Sometimes you may not remember how to do everything, and AI is there to help you sometimes. Yeah, but it's something that is very efficient, and it's effective as well.
Do you think the IT field is oversaturated?
Yes, it is.
It is.
But as I mentioned earlier, on IT is a field that it's pretty broad, it's general. So we have different fields in IT, cybersecurity, software development, and it all depends on which field that you're actually going into. So like cybersecurity, it have a high demand for people who actually want to invest their time into that. It's something that a lot of companies pay particular attention to, seeing that, they are victims of cyber crime, cyber attacks, every single day. I know
we had a few cyber attacks in the past in Trinidad.
Yeah, we did, Yeah, we had a couple of attacks, even today and all too. Today in a sense that meaning that, recently, we always have attacks like one common, as phishing attacks. I'm sure that probably within your time working, you will see that you get a spam email, from someone pretending to be someone from, NESC.
Yeah.
Click on this link, you can win something, participate in something. Yeah, so, something that is prevalent. You can't get away from it, but you could also do things to implement and try to minimize, the risk.
And what are some things you think people, just your average person, what are some things you think the average person could do to don't fall victim to these cyber attacks?
Educate yourself, I mean, the internet is free out there. You could always go up online and Google search, same question you're asking, what can I do to prevent, cyber attacks? Educate yourself, try and understand certain technologies, try and understand certain things that they use, like websites. You might be visiting the website of a bank often, institutions that hold a lot of valuable, sensitive information. But it's something that you should educate yourself on in terms of how to detect a legitimate, email link from a non-legitimate one. Certain signs to look for, what to look for in our website, things like that, how to identify like phishing attacks, what to look for, if to look for like grammatical errors, things like that, So yeah, those are more or less some of the things that you could do to minimize or prevent, being a victim of a cyber attack.
And one thing we don't think about is how costly these things can be.
Yeah, it is.
Fallen victim, or even just simple mistakes in IT could be costly. These parts are very expensive.
Yeah.
Have you ever made any kind of mistake?
I would say yeah, but thankfully it's mistake that is not, make people hold their head and be like, hey, what you do it? It's minor mistakes. Most of the mistakes sometimes just come from improperly troubleshooting, something. Take time to analyze the situation and then implement a solution. But it's nothing to say that, it has a negative impact, on people needs and things like that.
So it was an easy fix in the end?
Sometimes it was, yeah. Sometimes it took me a day because now the solution you have to implement is far greater than the solution you could have implemented from start if you properly analyze the situation first. Like if you're going to clean up a computer, if you're going to more or less try to, perform optimization, it's like, all right, you might have a software here, you might think, okay, well, the software not necessary. And then before you ask the user, well, hey, use the software, what is the software doing here? What is the purpose of it? You just go ahead and delete it, thinking,
and you uninstall it.
Yeah, like, they don't have need for that. There's some software there, and when the time people realize, the user realize that, hey, my software missing, where you going? So some of things like that is it's costing in the long run, but it's far good. It helps you build up on your skills and in terms of troubleshooting, problem solving, things like that.
And do you have any advice for anyone that wants to get into this field?
Yeah, definitely. I would say focus on your ability. A lot of especially youths growing up, they have hidden potentials, hidden talent that they may not know how to discover on their own. And sometimes a great start is just, pursuing your career. Could be NESC. These are institutions more or less that could help you, unlock that additional feature that you have inside of you, and take it to a place that you think that you never could have been, So, yeah.
So they should come to NESC
definitely.
And to our program.
Yeah.
So they could be as skilled as you.
Definitely, yeah. IT is my field, so I would say anybody who interested in IT, you go right ahead. No hesitation, just go, and you never know where it could take you in life.
What is your hype song? What is one song, things not working out for you that day, what song you playing?
I would say I can't think of one of the bat. Drake Headlines, yeah, that is one song I would say that.
Okay, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. I know I will be seeing you very soon.
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor to be here, and much appreciated for the time, an interview.